Dear students, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm continuing the topic of chemical bonding. In the previous video I have given its introduction and I have also explained ionic bonding in detail. If you want to check it out, then you can click that link in the description so that you will it will create a flow for you to just understand that whole concept of chemical bonding, then ionic bonding, and now the covalent bonding. So in this video I am going to discuss about the covalent bond and the types of covalent bond. So let's start the video. Well, covalent bond is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons between the atoms. It means there is no transfer, there is no gain, there is no loss by the atoms of their valence electrons. Instead, there is a mutual sharing in order to complete either the octet or the duplet. So this is how the covalent bond forms between the atoms, by the mutual sharing. The bonding can be between atoms of the nonmetals. So if it is happening, then atoms can be of the same elements or different elements. Well, it can also exist between the atoms of metals and nonmetals. And this is represented by the straight line between the atoms. It means the covalent bond is expressed or is represented with the help of a straight line between the atoms, which are actually sharing the electrons. So here I have just given an example. The simplest example, the hydrogen molecule is forming, the hydrogen gas is forming. So hydrogen it has got just one electron in its valence shell, and it needs one more electron to complete its duplet in order to stabilize itself. So in this kind of covalent bond, hydrogen atom and hydrogen, two similar atoms which are non-metals, they are actually sharing their atoms together, and this is how their duplet is completed somehow. So this is the simplest example of the covalent bond. I hope that you have got the concept of this. Now we are moving with the types of the covalent bond. So depending on the number of bond pairs. Now what are bond pairs? Bond pairs are basically indicating the electrons. One bond pair has got 2 electrons, okay? 2 bond pairs include 4 electrons, and so on. So depending on the number of bond pairs, a covalent bond may be single covalent bond, it means 2 electrons are shared. Double covalent bond, 4 electrons are shared. And triple covalent bond, 6 electrons are shared. They are shared. So we'll see them in detail one by one. Single covalent bond, formed by sharing of one bond pair. Like in a pair there are 2 electrons. So it is formed by sharing of one bond pair, and it is represented by a short line. That is single line, single straight line is used in order to represent the single covalent bond between the atoms. As you can see here, these are the nonmetals. Hydrogen is forming the single covalent bond with another hydrogen atom. Similarly, the chlorine atom is forming a single covalent bond with the other chlorine atom. So this is how they are making chlorine gas. We'll get the fair idea with this example. So this is single covalent bonding in chlorine, Cl2. So here I have used the dot and cross diagram to clarify this concept. So in the valence shell there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons are lying in one of the chlorine atoms, and in the other atoms too, in the other atom of this chlorine too, there are 7. So in order to complete their octet, they will share their valence electrons, and this is how a chlorine molecule is formed by the sharing of one bond pair. And since one bond pair is shared, so it is single covalent bond. Another example is these are the 2 nonmetals, and one of them is hydrogen, which is having just one electron in its valence shell. So one valence electron is lying in its outermost shell. It needs one more electron in order to complete its octet, in order to complete its duplet, sorry. And chlorine on the other hand has got 7 valence electrons. So it needs one more electron in order to complete its octet. So they will share these electrons, one bond pair is shared by hydrogen and chlorine atoms, so they will make hydrogen chloride. I hope that you have understood this concept of single covalent bonding in HCl. Okay, now we are moving towards double covalent bond. It is very easy. It is formed by sharing of two bond pairs, and it is represented by two short lines between the atoms. So the examples are the oxygen gas and the ethane, and they are nonmetals again. So you can see here there are 2, 4, 5 and 6 valence electrons are there in one oxygen atom, and in the another atom of the oxygen the same 6 valence electrons are lying. So they will share these 4 electrons together. So there is one bond pair and the other bond pair, and this is giving rise to the double covalent bond in between the oxygen atoms, and thereby the oxygen molecule is formed. This is the double covalent bonding in oxygen gas. Now we are moving with ethane. So in case of ethane, you can see that the carbon has got how many electrons in its valence shell? 1, 2, 3 and 4. And on the other hand, this carbon is also having 4 electrons. Okay, so this will be shared this will be shared equally by these carbon atoms together, and on the other hand we are having 4 hydrogen atoms together. Hydrogen need, like these hydrogen, they need one more electron, so they have just one electron here. This hydrogen atom is having one electron here. It will share the other electron from carbon, and this hydrogen will share the other electron of this carbon, and similarly it will go with these 2 hydrogen atoms too. So this is how the duplet is completed at the hydrogen atom side, and the octet is completed at the carbon atom sides. So this will result in the structure formula in which the carbon is forming double bond with the carbon atom, the other carbon atom, and on the other hand carbon is making the single covalent bond with the hydrogen atom at every corner, you can see. So this is the double covalent bonding in ethane. I hope that you have understood this. Now I'll see the triple covalent bond, and it is formed by the sharing of 3 bond pairs. So 3 bond pairs means 6 electrons are shared, so that the triple covalent bond is formed. It is represented by 3 short lines between the atoms. So here I have the example of nitrogen and the ethyne, and again they are nonmetals. So if you want to have the idea about the triple covalent bonding in nitrogen gas, then you can see here the dot and cross diagram. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 valence electrons are here for this nitrogen atom, and the other 5 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 electrons are lying here in the valence electron of this nitrogen atom. So they will share 3 bond pairs in order to complete their octet. So this is how they will form 3 covalent bonds. The other example is the triple covalent bonding in ethyne. You can see here this carbon, these 2 carbons are forming this 1, 2 and 3. They are sharing these 3 bond pairs, and since they are sharing 3 bond pairs, so 3 covalent bonds, 1, 2, 3, 3 covalent bonds are forming between these 2 carbon atoms in the structure of ethyne, while there is single covalent bond is forming between the carbon and the hydrogen atom here and there also. So I hope that you understood the concept of the covalent bond, that this is formed by the mutual sharing of the bond pairs. And then we discuss the type of the covalent bonding, like covalent bond, the single covalent bond, double covalent bond and triple covalent bond. Still, if you have any query regarding this, or you want me to do some other video, then just comment. I will feel happy to make that video for you. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care.